can get.
It's 12 times larger than the housing market.
12 times larger than the housing market. The slavery of the American youth to the debt market means that the students are living on less than minimum wage for hard work in our financial institutions. Check out university leaks for profiles and incompetence in our government, but they are making budget slashes galore on our university systems. Did you see the San Francisco activists getting pepper sprayed in the face as they protested the budget cuts in California? The budget cuts in California have made California universities more and more racist. We have to fight this. In London, they have destroyed the infrastructure of the educational system, and the people riot. If they take away our education, education should be a right. In Sweden, you can have a PhD courtesy of the government, but because of the recent Republicanization of the Swedish war state, we now have all immigrants to Sweden are not allowed to have an education because fundamentally they are racist. Somebody please make a video of that guy getting in. Doing an ATM withdrawal out of the WikiLeaks Bank of America.
Join the credit union. Move your money. America launders drug money. Move your money.
Don't heckle him, guys. Be fair. He's just the student debt thing. Would you speak for a moment on the student debt? Does anybody else want to speak about their student debt?
I have $33,000 in student debt for a degree that can't make more than minimum wage. The lenders, if we had bankruptcy protection, lenders would never have given me that loan because there's no way I can pay it off. But because there is no risk, because there's no bankruptcy protection, they were more than willing to give me a loan that they knew I could never pay off. Sure, I should have been aware of the risks, but I'm not an expert. They are. Robert Applebaum, who is a New York lawyer, is currently running a petition online at MoveOn.org to request that the Congress consider forgiving student loan debt as an economic stimulus. Millions of people have student loan debt. That money goes to line Sallie Mae's pocket when we could be putting it directly back into the economy by buying food, buying goods, money that would immediately re-stimulate the economy.
Okay, what kind of rights do children have? We have topiary in prison. We have a girl called Mercedes in prison. These people are online activists. As a young teenager growing up in the suburbs, your parents may be rich, but you're poor in other kinds of ways. You don't have access to justice, you don't have access to real money, and you're expected to go into the university system where you will be condescended to, so you become a good young, marching around, spending money as your only personal free expression. So these internet activists have united against PayPal, Visa, and MasterCard, and Bank of America, who have put an economic boycott on human rights organizations. Their attempts to disrupt the service have been numerous and immense. I encourage you all to check out the Hacker News. The Hacker News has information about Op Iran, Op Syria, Op Tunisia, Op Egypt. We in Portland need to express solidarity with the Arab Spring. The people in Tel Aviv. Did anybody see the pictures of 500,000 youth in Tel Aviv? Side by side, Arabs and Israelis united against this tyrannous regime of war and greed.
Right, I know. Oh, I know.
Power to the people!
Power to the people! So, let's see, the Mercedes arrest came with the PayPal assault. Does anybody use PayPal? Anybody care about PayPal? What PayPal is doing to block financial organizations that need money to continue to exist is, I don't know, so reprehensible. Exhausted.
But overall, I think it's very
Can anybody else speak?
All around the world, there are protests going on right now as we are standing here. We are only maybe 15, 20 people here, but that does not change the hundreds of thousands or even millions of people marching around the world right now. The news, the mainstream media has stopped informing the people. Everywhere in the world, they divide us and they keep us in the dark. You have to understand that the only way to get information now is to go on the internet and seek it out yourself. Because even the best news agencies, even BBC or Al Jazeera or the ones who actually have historically provided information, and Russia Today, even the best ones are starting to tell us less and less about what's happening. And the mainstream media, CNN, Fox, have become totally useless for gathering information. They talk about the Arab Spring. They talk about the rising in Europe. They don't tell you that it's absolutely everywhere on earth people are rising. From Egypt to Tunisia, Mexico, South America, every country in Europe, every country in Africa. The most oppressed people on earth are standing up for themselves in China and North Korea and taking to the streets. As she mentioned, in Israel, Jews and Muslims are marching together side by side against war and against corruption. And if we don't stand by them here in America, then we do not stand for freedom and democracy. If we don't stand up in America to our tyranny, our secretive, backroom tyranny that controls not just America, but the entire world, then we are not united with the rest of the people of the world. We have to stand up now. This is only a very tiny protest. Obviously, everyone can see this. But we are raising awareness today, and there are future protests coming on the 6th of October, on the 15th of October. It does not stop here. It never stops. It will never stop until the corporations and their puppet governments are tossed down. Any government in the world that stands against democracy will be overrun by its own people. Every corporation that funds such governments and bribes such governments will be dismantled. There is a new movement going on in the world that has never existed before. All the people of the world are uniting as one against corruption. And we must rise here too, because this is one of the main homes of corruption here in America and in Europe. These are the main epicenters of corruption, and if we don't fight it at the source, then the oppressed people of Africa and South America and East Asia and Central Asia, they can never have peace. In Egypt, our government has simply, after the fall of Mubarak, replaced Mubarak with a new military dictatorship. And that military dictatorship immediately tried to ban unions and strikes in Egypt. The people of Egypt have returned to Tahrir Square. They are there right now. Woo! And the government, our news, says nothing about it. They talk about the 1,000 people gathered around the Israeli embassies shouting death to America, while 30,000 people are gathered in Tahrir Square crying out for peace and democracy.
Yeah.
They don't want you to know what's happening. They want you to stay divided. They want us to think of ourselves as liberals and conservatives and Christians and Muslims and Jews and atheists. They don't want us to realize that we are all one people.
Yeah. No labels.
No more labels.